Now to wrap this up, let's talk about Microsoft and us. We talked about the change that Microsoft has gone through. Simon has laid out a number of the details, and Mark and other Microsoft players will talk more about it over the course of the week here. Microsoft has changed a lot, and at the SharePoint conference in 2012, Microsoft stood up on stage and said, "Come to Office 365," and they oversold Office 365, at least in the perception of the community. Most of us felt like we were being abandoned on-premise. We didn't understand whether there was going to be a new version on-premises, and we felt like we were being told, move or die. The messaging wasn't as effective as it probably could have been. Microsoft, as part of its transformation, has changed its messaging a lot. You're now hearing everyone from Microsoft say very sincerely that they are listening to customers. We now have a partner with Microsoft. We have a voice in the dialogue that we can and should take advantage of. So Microsoft has opened up channels that we should leverage to communicate. One of them is the Office IT Pro Network. This is a Yammer network, so you can find it just by searching for Office 365 Yammer. And this is where Microsoft wants us to go to talk about how we're trying to solve problems with Office 365. It is called currently the Office 365 IT Pro Network, but it is going to, over time, blur into a more general discussion of Office 365, because as we all know, the lines are blurring between who's an IT pro, who's a developer, and who's a power user. So this is going to be a great resource for us, and Microsoft's product teams will be monitoring this and participating in this, and they'll be bringing the MVPs in. So this is the official way that we can have a conversation with Microsoft about their products. It's not necessarily meant to replace the forums, where we can ask questions and over time get answers, but it's really meant to carry on a dynamic conversation with Microsoft. There's also UserVoice. UserVoice is a third-party service, uservoice.com, and within UserVoice there is an Office Dev UserVoice community where you can submit suggestions to Microsoft, and those suggestions can be voted up and down by the community. So if you really want to see something done in Office 365 or SharePoint, go to UserVoice, make a suggestion, and then do a campaign and get everyone to vote for it. Because Microsoft's product team sit down, I believe it's every week, and triage the UserVoice suggestions to see what people are saying is hot and what they need. Microsoft is really, really listening to us. Microsoft is also engaging its partners more thoughtfully, the MVP community more thoughtfully. Throughout the spectrum of the SharePoint community, Microsoft is really, truly listening. This isn't just lip service that we're getting now, and that's awesome. They're starting to deliver these services like OneDrive. This is one expression of the new Microsoft where they're listening to us carefully. They're innovating every week on this product. They're giving us a unified experience for it. And they're clearly setting the course forward for us to understand that it's cloud first, mobile first, and then things will start rolling into on-premise versions. Now, Simon mentioned that the next on-premises version of SharePoint will be next year. Other product team members have said publicly it will be late next year, so I'll just say that and hope that the people are right. So in Bill Baer's keynote a couple weeks ago, he said late 2015, so that's what we can probably expect. And said in addition there's going to be yet another version after that, and then Microsoft will continue to deliver on-premises versions as long as the demand warrants. So if you even think about 2 more versions of SharePoint and service packs and support after that, on-premises SharePoint is going to be getting love well into the 2020s. I expect that many of us will move most or all of our workloads into the cloud well before that. So we're going to end up being ahead of Microsoft. Microsoft is also laying out the future of capabilities in social with the Oslo application and Office Graph. And tomorrow, make sure to come tomorrow and listen to Mark and Christian's keynote, because I was really hoping I could share it with you, but we decided to have them do it. Office Graph and Oslo are ridiculously cool. Not just because of the underlying technology, which is extraordinary, that's understanding signals of behavior and pulling them together to bubble up information to you in new ways, but also because of the presentation of that information to users. And I believe that businesses, as they start to see Oslo, will finally understand enterprise social. I think Oslo is the tipping point for enterprise social. They'll start saying, it's not Facebook for the enterprise. It's about understanding what people are doing, who they are, who they relate to, what they look at, and being able to use that information to make us more productive, more connected, and more responsive. So be sure to look at that keynote tomorrow. Now, there will still be missteps. Microsoft will make mistakes. And one of the great things about the new Microsoft is they're willing to say that. They're willing to say, we tried that, it just didn't work. Sandbox solutions, they'll say quite publicly, we thought that was the solution to scaling customizations. It wasn't, we're sorry. And there will still be missteps. There will be things big and small that they do that they will have to apologize for. But the good news is they'll apologize for it quickly now. Along the path, they're going to be giving us a roadmap. As we've seen, they're transparent now about what they're going to be releasing, so we know what's coming down the pike. We don't know quite when yet, but we know what's coming down the pike, and it's obviously got to be soon because they're demoing it, so it's pretty darn solid functionality that we're seeing. But we can't expect them to be perfect. What we can expect them to be is a good partner. And I would personally argue that there have been times when Microsoft has been less than a good partner to its customers. I think the world has really changed. But there will still be missteps. One of my favorite missteps right now is just Dialog Box. This is the bane of my existence. I don't know how many of you have seen this, where Dialog Box comes up and says, we can't give you access, sign in. You have no idea what it's trying to get you access to, or which account you're supposed to sign in with. And honestly, if I were a hacker, I would simply, if I wanted to get someone's password and username, I'd create something that pops up with this Dialog Box and get their username and password. This is a nasty one. Hopefully they'll fix it. But there will continue to be missteps. And there will continue to be questions that we have of Microsoft. But as I suggested, we can definitely assume we've got a good partner in them now, that we're moving forward together, and that change is going to be exceptionally rapid. And because that change is rapid, we have to remember that it's not the cloud that matters, or Office 365 or SharePoint that matters, or even IT. It is the business. We have to stay focused on that business and delivering business value. And IT will matter when we're increasing that value or decreasing that risk for the business. And because IT matters, we've got to spend this period of time in our lives transforming IT into that center of excellence, into that service broker. We have to become a service to our business. Otherwise, we will lose to services. And when IT loses to services, the business loses, because the business becomes a collection of shadow and rogue applications that are no longer managed effectively. So that's where IT needs to be. We need to be delivering excellent service at optimized cost and optimized control, becoming the agile partner that our business customers have wanted us to be for the last couple of years, transforming ourselves into what I would call innovation technology. And I'm not just pulling this name out of the air, by the way. I actually have a customer who rebranded IT as innovation technology, did all of these changes. Job satisfaction has gone through the roof. They now sit at the table of all leadership meetings. They are now a valued partner to the business, and it's an exciting place for those people to live and work. So with that, I'd like to say thank you very much. Please do come up to itunity.com and carry on this conversation with us, connect with each other, and help us help each other to solve our business problems with technology. I'll leave my contact information up in case anyone wants to take a picture. You'll be able to get the slide deck from the event as well as from my OneDrive, so please feel free to grab that URL or that QR code. Enjoy the ESPC 14, enjoy Barcelona, and thank you so much to the team who's put together this absolutely fantastic event. Have a great day.